lock it and stock it, pocket rocket.
Hey, that's a lot of rhymes, dude.
I'm a hip hop artist.
Yeah, damn. What are you, some kind of
Hip hop rapper.
hip hop anonymous? Hip hopopotamus? That was Flight of the Conchords.
No.
Did you almost run into somebody?
Oh, I almost.
Did you almost
savagely beat a woman? No.
Like, what in the fuck?
on accident.
Oh. Let's clarify what exactly happened
Well,
here.
what was happening? You ever play violent sports when
you
grew
ever
up?
hit a woman? Yes. Yeah, I've played the odd violent sport.
Yeah, I played a lot of football growing up,
Mm-hmm.
and I was a bit of a chonker in high school. So I played on the defensive line,
Okay.
and so a lot of swim moves, a lot of rip moves, a lot of practicing just popping people as hard as you can, like right in their shoulder.
Oh, man.
Just like going like that, just wham. And
Yeah.
so then also you do a lot of visualizing. That was big. I don't know if that was every team
Okay.
or just my team. They really emphasized like visualizing, like running through plays and stuff like that. So while we were doing drills, you're doing bag drills, and you're supposed to be envisioning what you're doing on the field to help you sort of go through the motions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I do when I'm running, just to keep my mind off of how exhausted I am.
Yeah.
I just run through
I
like
know where this is
drills,
going.
and so I'm just running through like rip drills and swim moves in my head, and I'm running past this fence that's like 8 feet tall. It's just like full on like into it, like running hard, music in, whatever like Darude is playing, just saying something. And I'm fucking
you're
running by this
full
fence,
on.
whooshing. And then this lady is just fully buried in her phone and like takes the left, the sharp
no.
left into the right, which you should not do. People always left, go outside, stay to your right.
Go out. Yeah.
Always stay on your right side of the path, just for common, so this doesn't happen to you. Because I'm full bore Daruding it, and this lady
Daruding it.
buried in her cell phone, like comes around the corner at me, and I was like in the motion of swim moving her, and I just like didn't hit her. Basically, I was like, whoa, like,
Just a near miss.
So yeah, I like swim move and like just had my arm like cocked back as though about to fully pummel her shoulder, like just devastate her into the fence. But,
Did she get a sense that any of this was happening?
oh yeah, she went. she like did one of those. I don't know. It was fun.
That's cool, man.
It was good.
That's one of the benefits of keeping fit. You can scare other people.
Yeah, you can scare small women as long as you stay fit.
As long
What a
as
benefit,
as long
Jim.
as-
God,
I mean,
pervert.
that's not misogynistic, maybe.
Hey guys,
how's your week been, man?
welcome to All Day Breakfast.
Yes. You're here. We're here. Let's do this.
This is bacon at midnight
Bacon at midnight or whenever.
or eggs in the afternoon.
Whenever your morning is. We're here for you.
Yeah, omelet at 3 p.m. Why not?
Live your life.
Anyways, have us with a tall glass of OJ
Yeah.
with vodka in it. Who knows? Maybe it's 11.
Who knows what time it is? Maybe you have the day off.
Maybe you do have the day off.
And you're like, I'm just gonna spend my day listening to Alex and Jim.
Oh, yeah, then let's get
See
on
what
with
they
it.
have to say.
Let's
Yeah,
get
I
on
guess.
with it then.
Yeah, they're kind of in their own heads now.
Yeah. So how was your week? What have you been up to?
Oh man, I've been good, just working. I saw. I want to start with a news segment
Okay.
because I saw something today that
This is the news.
yeah. We're gonna get a breaking news. This was on the BBC.
Ooh.
So it's like a trusted news source.
The British Broadcasting Corporation, or
British
the other acronym
no,
for BBC?
The British
This is
Broadcasting
on
Cock.
the BBC. We get all of our news from one big black cock. We call
right.
it the BBC.
Yeah,
It's
the
where
guy
Jim
who was
and I get our
the
news.
guy who was circulating during COVID.
Be easy.
Come on. Oh man. Okay, but listen to this. I've never heard of this before. I didn't know this was a thing. It's about to get weird. There's like There's like a kink that some people have where they wear like a celibacy thing.
I told you not to tell anyone about this, Jim.
Listen, no one would have known if you didn't blow your own cover, man. Nah, but it's like, okay, it's like a device you put over your private parts, and it like locks in.
Oh yeah.
And so this one particular device is like controlled by phone, so like over Bluetooth or whatever. Somebody hacked the mainframe of the company and locked everybody in. This thing is called...
Are they still currently locked in?
I think they like did a patch maybe and got but it didn't happen right away. There was some people who had to like break it off. They had to like go into the chip and like... Dude, I've never heard of this before, but I looked it up. It was called the Cellmate Chastity Cage. This Cellmate? And it's just a thing that goes over.
Yes, I get what they're doing with that. They're like they're talking about cell phone and soulmate, I think is what they're trying to do. But it sounds like it's a jail rape thing.
It does, man. And it's sort of like, well, that would be a good thing for jail, wouldn't it?
The cellmate.
Just like
that's so funny.
You like just stop.
You trade a pack of smokes for one.
Yeah, man. It was crazy, but like. Imagine trying to get through the airport with one of them. Oh my beep, 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 beep. You're like, oh, sorry, man.
I have a business meeting. I was doing a thing with my girlfriend, and this guy hacked in.
Listen, I got to call my wife. But I've never seen this before. And I looked it up.
I guarantee there's at least someone who's like using one for like a thing, and then they had to like get to work afterwards.
Yeah.
And had to go to work.
You know what was crazy? In the BBC story, they had an image of like a world map, and it showed that like they were able to locate every single one in the world, right? So it just showed like a world map with all these little blue dots on it where all the ones were. There was one in Edmonton. At the very least, central Alberta.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I know.
That's great.
I know.
I respect that. It's been Jim the whole time.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy though? Like, can you imagine? And I guess there's just a hole in the end to pee out of. So like some people wear it all day. That's a thing that some people do. They give their access to someone else. Like, really. But then sometimes someone hacks the mainframe and you get locked in, dude.
See, this is what I don't like about Teslas.
Oh.
I don't like electrical stuff. It's too easy to hack and break and steal and communicate with other. I don't like it.
Yeah. Whatever happened to just like promising not to fuck other people?
Right? Oh God.
I think if you have to get an industrial device,
I feel like it's more. Yeah.
Maybe there's something else going on in the relationship.
Yeah, you should go to marriage counseling.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if a marriage counselor prescribed that? Marriage counselor was like, well, what I think will help is if you lock up his penis whenever he goes to Fort McMurray.
Yeah. Like, do I get to lock hers up? No.
No.
This is a you thing. But like when I saw that on the BBC,
what happens if you get a boner?
Well, I had all these questions. Because like the size of a man's thing goes a few different,
goes a few different ways.
A few different ways throughout the course of a day, right?
Yeah.
But apparently that's part of the thing.
Like, so many different things. Consistency changes throughout the day. Shape.
What if you get dehydrated? It's
moisture
cold.
level.
Yeah. Oh my God. So I feel like you could slip out of it, but I mean, not me personally. You
can slip out of it. It's like a Houdini suit.
Yeah. Aha.
What are those? A straight jacket.
It looked like it had a clamp for like around your nuts too. So I don't know, man. It seemed like some very serious. I was shook when I saw this.
I was shook.
It's like when you learn about something that you didn't know existed before, and you're just like, whoa. I don't know if I needed that.
I hate when stuff like this comes up on my feed because I'm like, all right, was this a top story or a targeted one? Like, is this?
Oh yeah, good question.
Is this one of the ones that was meant for me, or just one of the ones that happened upon my screen?
I know you start to be like, hey, like algorithms, fuck you, bro.
You ever fuck with the algorithms?
You don't know me. Oh, dude, and. Anytime I look up something as a joke, I get this fucking shit following me all over the news websites for weeks.
The best.
How do you mess with the algorithms?
I always use the wrong emoji things. I always use the wrong one on purpose. Whenever I like something, I use the dislike face, and whenever something's sad, like, what happened? Something. It was like Donald Trump like coughed on the like balcony or something.
Yeah, he was
today.
like wheezing.
And every time I saw it, I just put the care emoji. It's like, I really care about this story so much. Lovey-dovey. Trumpy wumpy.
Yeah, that was an interesting one, man. I was looking at that today, but the people are like, "Oh, you should see it."
You see it?
He does.
Please, Evie. He's a fat guy who walked upstairs. What do you want from him?
He's an old, overweight man who just walked up like a decent flight of stairs.
You could have shown. I guarantee you could have shown a clip of him walking up those stairs at any point in his presidency, and then whatever he did immediately after, he was like.
Either way, the man's unhealthy. But dude, he was like.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. He's fucking.
It just sucks because now he's gonna be like, he already is like, yeah, I beat it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I mean, it's not really like that, but
it's not really.
And
like
it's
that.
Alberta's not doing very well right now. We got
Jennifer
a lot right
Aniston coming up and be like, why the fuck are all these other 50-year-old bitches going gray and look so wrinkly right now?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I think you had your doctors were a little different than ours, dickhead.
You have more money.
I don't even think it's a money thing. I think it's just a where the fuck you're at in life thing.
Yeah, that's true.
You're the president of the United States of America. You can get a fucking quarantine immediately.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is for me to get an actual quarantine going? So who's going to bring me food?
Skip, man. That's one of the best.
That's not who's quarantine. Skip has gone to 100 restaurants today.
Yeah, dude, but they drop it outside and they run away.
They put it in the same bag.
As what?
All the other bags that they touched that all the cooks who made the food touched.
Yeah, but if you already have COVID and you're quarantining, it doesn't matter if someone else gives you COVID.
No, I know, but
I like that I made you go this so early in the podcast.
I'm not saying for me. I'm just saying like.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But like, did you see that they like took a couple posed photos of him working from the hospital, and then someone like pulled the images and looked at like the metadata of the images, and it showed that they were taken 10 minutes apart. And in one of them, he's signing a blank piece of paper, and in the other one, he's in a different outfit doing something else. And it's just like, oh my god, you're fucking like try so hard to be like. Yeah, I didn't even stop working. So
I've been doing it.
COVID, more like fucking Novid. I'm surprised he didn't say that.
Novid.
More like Novid, bud.
Oh, I liked it when he was saying racist things about it. That was my favorite part of the pandemic, I think. That and Tiger King.
Yeah. Those are two pretty good highlights.
Those are my
like, what do you mean when he's calling it like the Wuhan virus and stuff like that?
Yeah, when he's calling it Wuhan flu. I miss the Donald Trump that was just saying obscene things all the time.
Yeah.
Remember when that was it? Remember when he...
Yeah.
Well, I guess that was never really just it, but like...
I mean...
That was the thing. Everyone was mad that he said like Wuhan flu and grab her by the pussy and that stuff.
Well, the thing is, in 2016 or whatever, he was like the anti-politician, and people were like, yeah, fuck politicians. Let's vote this crazy guy in. But then, like, you actually give him the reins, and it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, it was insane.
And there's really nothing to stop.
I liked when he called Kim Jong-il or Kim Jong-un, one of them, he called him Rocket Man. That was fun.
Yeah. He likes his nicknames. He's a big nickname guy.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
He calls women nasty.
Yeah, but, like, that's really fun when he's not doing the president stuff.
Yeah.
But when there's like, all the dead
what
people.
would be sick is if you were doing the right things, but that's how you dealt with people.
Yeah.
I could get behind that. I could be like,
maybe that's what I mean.
Pretty good guy. But
like
if he was still doing all the normal thing, like making sure everything's taken care of and things are happening in the right way, but publicly he's just like,
he's like, shove it, Rocket Man.
Yeah, beat it.
That would be the best.
And like all the other world leaders are like kind of in on it. So like in public, he'll be like, just go overboard.
Bro, like if he didn't say anything about it, but America was the first people to have 0 cases, and then he just went, we wiped out the Wuhan flu, I would have been like, yeah! Like That would have been amazing.
Just like he's such a not good person.
But instead, he was like,
he's
"What do you
saying the bad
mean?"
stuff and doing the bad stuff.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And like, I mean, you could throw a million facts at him and none of them will stick. It doesn't really matter if there's other things that you can say to discount some of that.
I don't want to talk about him anymore. Let's talk about something else.
Yeah, let's.
I've won fantasy.
Okay.
I won my fantasy back-to-back
Nice.
weeks.
Who was your big
Panthers
guy?
Actually, I don't even remember his first name. He's this rookie dude that I picked up in week 2. He's a running back for Jacksonville.
Is he a waiver guy? You got him off waivers?
Yeah, you bet. James Robinson.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was expecting a much more complicated name, but that's because I'm a dick.
No, it's just yours. Just your name.
Nice.
James Robinson. He's dope. He was a rookie and no one drafted him, and then he had one good week and I was like, maybe. Nice. And then risked it for the biscuit did it.
Ooh.
And boy did I get it.
Biscuit. Nice. Yeah. Nice. So is it like it's a season long thing? Where are you at?
This is week 4 just finished up.
Mm-hmm.
We're keeper league, so I think this is season 3 or 4, something like that. So kept Patrick Mahomes. That came up big.
Nice.
Won me. Oh, god damn. I had the most devastating fantasy football loss.
Let's hear
If you don't
it.
like fantasy football,
get it off your chest.
Get out of here. This is the next couple minutes.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about it. So I'm just an observer.
2 minutes.
But I like to see how into it Alex gets. That's what I live for. Let's talk about it.
So this was 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And it's the Monday night game. And the New Orleans Saints are playing someone. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember what it was. But basically, the dude has the New Orleans Saints kicker. And I'm like, if he has one of those stupid games where a kicker does really well, I'm going to lose.
Oh, no.
And then if he has one of those games where a kicker just does what a kicker's supposed to do, I win. He's kicking, doesn't do very well the first half of the game. I'm like, oh my goodness, I might actually win this. He's under projections. They're down by like 9 or something like that. They get a touchdown. Then they kick the extra point, and I lost fantasy on that extra point.
No.
And the other team goes back, scores immediately, goes up by 10, end of the game. There's no way they can get 2 scores. There's no time left. A useless extra point loses me the whole week.
I only played a few seasons of fantasy football, and the thing is, there are some like when you get a devastating loss like that, you feel it. Like when you're watching and you're like, I lose by 1 point. Are you serious?
Less than a point.
Oh my god.
And it was literally on the last possible,
right.
The most useless, meaningless last score of the game that was worth nothing.
Yeah.
Oh
my god.
I guess not last score of the game, but last score for New
their
Orleans.
last possession.
Yeah,
their last possible possession.
Yeah, Will Lutz's very last possible point.
Oh man.
Is a stupid. I'm like, as long as they don't get an extra point or anything. No,
that's that's one thing about fantasy football is like throughout the course of a Sunday, you can just be on this like, oh shit! Whoa! Here we go! Oh my god! I think I'm gonna. Oh my god! And then it can end on something so trivial, and you could just be like, I hate football. I'm never playing this again.
Ridiculous.
Oh my god!
However, the fantasy gods come back 1 week later and redeem my whole life. Okay, so it's Monday night, and we're going into it. Good game. We're both doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm looking at the stats, and I'm basically like, okay, well, he has the Baltimore Ravens defense. I have quarterback Patrick Mahomes. They're playing against each other on Monday night, and he's ahead of me by a little less than 29 points. So I'm like, basically, Mahomes needs to outscore the Ravens D by 29 points.
Right.
And he puts up 40. And the Ravens D puts up fucking 8.
Oh.
And they had 11, but the last touchdown that Mahomes got to put him up knocked them down just enough for me to take over.
See, that's what I'm talking about, man.
He put up enough points that it knocked them in, because like the way the defensive points break down, if you don't understand this, you probably should have skipped.
Yeah, if you're still listening, waiting for us to stop talking about it, we haven't yet.
But yeah, so the defensive points basically put him, like, once you get scored a certain amount of points on you as a defense, you lose points. So like your defense starts automatically with like 10 points, and they whittle down as you get scored on. And so it knocked him down like the next tax bracket.
Yeah.
And it was Mahomes who scored the touchdown. So it got me like 4 points for the passing touchdown, and then knocked him down the 2 and put me up like it was like he was beat them by like 30 points or something. Or like whatever it was, like exactly enough to put me up where I needed to be.
Fantasy football justice. Yes. Served.
Or whatever it was. So yeah, he put up 40, so they would have had to put up 9, less than 9. So yeah, I would have knocked him to 8.
Yeah, that's sick, man.
Pretty good.
It can be exciting, man. I just found it was too much work for me. Like, there's a lot of people that take it a lot more seriously in the leagues that I was playing in. A lot of people that took it a lot more seriously and just had more time for it. And
we take it very seriously.
Yeah, and I just wasn't in the right place for it. I used to play too much fantasy sports, like fantasy hockey. Then you used to have to start setting your lineup every fucking day, and it was just like a guy would have a hat trick, and you're like, oh my god, sweet, and he'd be on your bench, and you'd be like, I hate this.
Yeah, that's what I like about football. It's once a week.
Once a week, yeah, that's definitely
beautiful.
But even just like once you like get into it, and you're trying to figure out like, okay, who's gonna be the sleeper guy this week, and like. You can take up. I have friends who just sit and watch the NFL Network just for forever. They just never turn that off.
My flex spot is so stressful this year.
Yeah,
it's so because I have these basically I have 4 veterans who are all like just essentially like 1B guys now. I have Julian Edelman. Who is the guy in New England, but Cam Newton's out with COVID. And then I have Emmanuel Sanders, who's in New Orleans, but he's like basically the number 1 because Michael Thomas is out. But fucking Drew Brees throws touchdowns to whoever he wants. He throws to running backs and tight ends and like all over the place.
Right.
So Emmanuel Sanders 1 week gets 22 points, and then last week gets me like 3.4 points. I'm like, well, I started you obviously on the wrong week, idiot.
Yeah.
So, or whatever the hell it was. So then I've got DJ Moore, who's in Carolina, who's being outshined by Robbie Anderson right now. So that sucks. And then I have Todd Gurley as my 4th. He's in Atlanta, and he's been doing like fine, but he's not himself, and he has like arthritis, and he's playing in Atlanta. So like Julio Jones is getting all the passes, and Calvin Ridley's getting all the passes, and they're like kind of using him as a utility back because he's getting kind of old, and they don't want to injure him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, he just might do okay. Like he'll never do anything amazing. But then I have these 3 idiots at receiver who could go off for 30 or could put up 1 point.
Right. Oh man. The NFL did
so
pretty
far
good.
I've been wrong every time.
Well,
every time I've tried guessing, the 22 points has been on my bench, and fucking 4 points has been on my starting position.
I hate that.
Week after week, every goddamn time. And it's a guessing game. It's a full-on guessing game.
Yeah, the NFL had its first COVIDs. You know, pro sports has done a really good job. Like, there's been very few actual positive tests since pro sports. But, you know, to be fair, they all did the bubble thing.
Yeah.
It shows you that if everyone actually fucking does what you're supposed to do, you can sort of keep it under control. But
what a surprise.
But it's been interesting, man. I thought there would be way more. Especially with football for some reason. I figured there'd be more.
That's what everyone kept saying. Everyone kept talking about football like it was going to be the problem. And what I don't understand is like the whole point of COVID has been like you need to stay away from people and like the more
but like
often,
when the 2 lines are the 2 like
I know, but like the more you touch someone doesn't matter. It's the amount of people you're touching and how many places you're going. Football travels once a week. You stay at home and you live in your house. Every single day, except for every other weekend, you have to go to an away game on Sunday. Whereas like NHL, you're
It's
all
still-
over the fucking country. You're going everywhere. You're in every airport. You're
Well,
talking to every
NHL
stewardess. You're
NHL was just the two.
or yeah,
two
but
hub
MLB
cities,
and
but yeah.
NBA, like that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like football, it's literally you're at home for
Yeah,
every
it's
single.
I guess in that
day.
sense, it's a lot more less risky.
Well, and that's how you get COVID. Like it doesn't happen from like the more times you run into another lineman, unless that lineman has COVID. In which case, you would have caught it the first time you ran into him. It doesn't matter
Maybe.
how often.
That's true. That's true.
It's like people
I
can't
still thought
correlate
football
like
would've-
how you get the disease.
I think it's because there's way more people on a football team than there is on any other team. There's like 20
not
guys on a
really.
hockey team. There's like 50 guys on a football team.
I guess.
That's like twice as much.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is, because like you are around more people because there's like 100 players at a game.
But it's not different people. Like that's the thing. It's the cohort thing.
But
like,
it's still a lot of people.
But you're with them all. Like if one guy gets it, you all would get it, no matter how many people are on the team.
Except that didn't happen when in New England.
Well, I know, but you know what I mean.
But it's just
Like-
interesting. That's what I'm saying. Like they've done such a good
But
job
the
because
way, I know,
even
I'm
when
just saying
one guy
football
got it,
would not be the one. Like the way this disease is transmitted, the
Yeah.
likelihood of getting it depends on how many times you go around new people. Like that's how you get this disease.
yeah,
is
you are going
around
in front of
new
another
people.
team every week.
But that's it. Once a week, you go to
Yeah.
one other team.
Like
Whereas
50
every
guys.
other sport, you go to all the other teams all the time.
Well, not right now.
But they were like,
Yeah.
and always like even.
But not right now. Like I don't know. Like I'm just,
But they still are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you see way more people in an NBA schedule because you're playing fucking 150 games. So you see all those people who see all those people.
not NBA.
Or whatever, however many
Yeah.
games they play. Like, you're
82.
playing 16 in a football season.
I know.
So you're playing 82 games. That means you're playing 42 away games. That means you have to go to 42 different cities. That's how you get COVID, is going around to new places and seeing new people.
Yeah.
You don't get COVID from hanging out at home and going to one other game a week.
Alex is so passionate about football, you guys.
No, I'm not passionate about football. I'm passionate about how stupid people are about this disease. Like, people are like, oh, you're going to get it because you touch other guys. No, you
Because you
idiots.
touch other guys.
It's not about how often you touch people. It's
No, you're gonna
stop
get- you're gonna
meeting
get the
new
herb from
people.
touching other guys.